Good morning. You're listening to the Brief Wake Up, your mindful start to the day. I'm Handel, your daily coffee companion, helping you wake up informed, thoughtful, and maybe a little bit more amused before the day gets old. If you're commuting, corralling kids, or just standing in line for caffeine, you're in the right place. Let's get you caught up. Let's start with what matters most, your health. Psoriasis, when the immune system paints too fast. Today on the health front, a condition that hides in plain sight but carries a story much bigger than skin. Psoriasis. If you've ever seen those thick, scaly patches that look like silver bread dry skin, that's psoriasis at work. But here's what's remarkable. It isn't caused by bad hygiene, allergies, or anything contagious. It's an autoimmune process. Your body's own defense system accidentally turning its creativity upside down. In healthy skin, new cells rise to the surface every 28 days or so. In psoriasis, the immune system mistakes normal cells for intruders and releases inflammatory signals that tell the skin to renew in just 3 to 5 days. The body can't shed the old cells fast enough, so they pile up, forming plaque that itch, crack, and sometimes bleed. That inflammation doesn't stop at the skin. Many people with psoriasis also battle joint pain, fatigue, and inflammation in the heart, gut, or liver. In fact, researchers now classify it as a systemic inflammatory disease, much like rheumatoid arthritis. Up to one-third develop psoriatic arthritis, where the immune system begins attacking our joints. There is still no permanent cure, but treatments today are far beyond the thick steroid creams of the past. Doctors now have targeted biological medications that calm specific immune pathways that drive inflammation. For milder cases, light therapy, i.e., literally controlled UV exposure, can slow the skin cell growth. While medication is central, lifestyle plays a quiet but powerful role. Stress, smoking, alcohol, cold weather, and even minor infections can trigger flare-ups. On the flip side, rest, exercise, anti-inflammatory foods, and mindfulness can help keep the immune system ready. Psoriasis also takes an emotional toll. Visible patches on hands or scalp can make someone feel self-conscious, even when the condition itself isn't dangerous. So if you know someone who has it, empathy matters just as much as treatment. The takeaway: psoriasis is not a cosmetic problem, it's your immune system writing too fast, and inflammation is the ink. The good news: with early diagnosis, modern medicine, and attention to the mind-body connection, those overactive signals can be quieted, and the skin, like life, can find its rhythm again. Now for what's topping the news. We return to discussing Hurricane Melissa, from devastation to determination. This morning, the Caribbean is reeling from heartbreak but also showing resilience. Hurricane Melissa, one of the most powerful storms in recent history, made landfall in Jamaica earlier this week as a Category 5 hurricane, packing winds nearly 185 miles per hour. The storm tore through coastal communities, flattening homes, flooding towns, and leaving much of the island without power or clean water. Across the region, in Jamaica, Haiti, and Cuba, more than 25 individuals have lost their life and thousands more are in emergency shelters. Roads are blocked by debris, communications are patchy, and hospitals are running on generators. Relief crews are still assessing damage as rain continues inland. But amid the wreckage, there is help on the way. The UK and European governments have already pledged more than $14 million in aid. President Trump has acknowledged that the USA will have to support the relief effort. The World Food Program USA is coordinating shipments of rice, beans, and high-energy biscuits. the kind of shelf-stable foods that keep families nourished when everything else is gone. Meanwhile, the Jamaican government, its official relief portal, support.jamaica.gov.jm, is now live, connecting donors directly with vetted local organizations providing shelter, medical supplies, and rebuilding materials. If you're wondering how you can help or where you are, here's how. Donate to trusted relief groups, such as the World Food Program USA, Project Hope, the World Central Kitchen, Convoy of Hope, and of course, support.jamaica.gov.jm, the official government site coordinating verified relief efforts on the ground. If you can't give money, give attention. Share links that are verified, raise awareness, and help cut through the misinformation. The news cycle will move fast, but recovery doesn't. Please avoid sending random goods. Relief experts say that well-meaning donations of clothes or canned food can sometimes clog supply chains. Instead, financial aid lets organizations buy what's needed locally, faster, and more efficiently. For the people of the Caribbean, rebuilding will take months, maybe years. But every dollar, every shared post, every small act of care helps turn disaster into determination. If you'd like to learn more or contribute directly, links to the World Food Program, Project Hope, and the Jamaican Government Relief Fund are in our show notes on Instagram and YouTube. Our thoughts are with everyone affected by Hurricane Melissa, and to the first responders and volunteers working through the past days. Thank you. Now for tech and culture. Dating and AI. Here's a wild thought for your morning coffee. What if your next relationship wasn't with a person, but with a program? That's not science fiction anymore. Across the world, millions of people are downloading AI companions. Apps like Replica, Nomi, or Paradot that learn your mood, remember your stories, and talk to you like someone who genuinely cares. It's easy to see the appeal. An AI partner never ghosts you, never argues, and is always texts back. It listens, adapts, and even flirts in a way that feels tailored to you. For some people, it's comfort, especially for those who feel isolated, anxious, or burnt out by dating in the real world. But here's a catch. While these AIs can simulate emotion, they don't actually feel it. There's no heartbeat behind the code, just data responding to data. And yet, people describe real heartbreak when their AI shuts down or changes, or after a personality update. Psychologists say this is something new. A relationship that looks on the surface real, but lacks mutual vulnerability that makes love, love. It's affection without risk, validation without the mess. And it raises a bigger question. What happens when convenience replaces connection? If love is supposed to challenge us, to teach us empathy, patience, and growth, what do we lose when we trade that for a flawless feedback loop? Maybe AI relationships aren't about replacing people. Maybe they're holding up a mirror, showing us what kind of love we crave, or what kind of presence we're missing. Because at the end of the day, an algorithm can tell you what you want to hear, but only a human can surprise you. So, before you fall for the perfect partner in your pocket, just remember, real connection still runs on something no machine has ever learned: mutual imperfection. And now for the big sip. Your mind is a pattern machine. Here's a thought for your morning coffee. Maybe your mind isn't a mystery. Maybe it's a pattern machine. That's a theory. The pattern recognition theory of mind. That says everything you think, remember, or imagine comes down to one thing: your brain recognizing patterns and applying them in new ways. You don't consciously analyze every face, voice, or phrase you hear. You just know that's your friend calling, or a lie being told, or a song you've loved years ago. That's your brain scanning for patterns and comparing them to millions already stored. Even your gut feeling, that quiet voice that says something's off, isn't mystical. It's your subconscious spotting a pattern your conscious mind hasn't caught up to yet. Your instincts are basically high-speed pattern recognition, built from years of repetition and experience. Now here's where it gets interesting. This same idea is reshaping how we think about artificial intelligence. Most of today's AI systems, even the smartest ones, don't understand patterns. They just calculate them. They predict what fits next in a sequence, but they don't feel the meaning or context the way we do. They can recognize a cat, but they don't know what a cat is, how it moves, sounds, or fits into the world. The pattern recognition theory of mind says that true intelligence, human or artificial, isn't about data or logic. It's about connection, recognizing not just shapes or words, but how they link to feelings, memories, and meaning. Your mind isn't a library of facts, it's a living web of patterns. Every aha moment is just one more piece clicking into that web. And every instant you trust is your brain whispering, "I've seen this before." So as you head into the day, pay attention to those patterns in conversation, in traffic, in timing. That's not coincidence. That's your mind doing exactly what it was designed to do. Recognize the rhythm beneath the noise. The lighter roast. The parenting paradox. Here's a paradox for your coffee. Parenting might be the most meaningful thing you'll ever do, and also the thing most likely to make you Google, "Can fatigue be permanent?" We live in a culture that celebrates parenting as sacred work. It's supposed to bring out your best self, fill your life with joy, and look great in photos. But somewhere between diaper duty, homework help, and the emotional negotiations of bedtime, joy starts to look a little different. You love your kids more than words can describe. But sometimes, if we're being honest, you trade a little of that love for a nap. Psychologists call this the parenting paradox. The more meaning you find in raising your children, the more likely you are to feel stressed, anxious, or stretched to your limits. It's fulfillment and frustration in the same sentence. And it's not that parents are doing something wrong, it's that modern culture has quietly changed how we parent. A few generations ago, people raised kids with the support of extended families, neighbors, and half the block watching out for each other. Now the village is an app, a play date, or a podcast like this one. We parent alone, but under constant observation. Social media didn't invent comparison, but it made it 24/7. You scroll through other families' perfect mornings, color-coded snacks, handwritten notes, and everyone's smiling at the same time. And suddenly, your own kitchen feels like a scene from mild domestic warfare. And yet, that's where the real beauty is hiding, in the unfiltered moments that never make the grid. The messy breakfast, the tantrum halfway through Target, the quiet ride where your kid says something so unexpectedly pure that you forgot you were mad 3 seconds ago. That's the paradox at work. It's not about happiness every minute, it's about depth. Parenting stretches the heart and the ego at the same time. It makes you confront every version of yourself: the patient one, the tired one, the one still figuring it out. Maybe that's the real meaning behind the paradox. Parenting doesn't promise comfort, it promises growth. It's where joy and exhaustion learn to share the same seat at the table. So if you're feeling like you're failing because you're not blissed out every day, you're not failing. You're just living something too big to fit inside one emotion. Now, go top off that coffee, hug your kid, even if they'll let you, and remember, the fact it's hard doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means you care. So welcome to October 30th. And what's to commemorate for today? Well, it carries a mix of stories, some light-hearted, others deeply human. We'll start with one of reflection. Across the former Soviet Union, this day is observed as a day of remembrance of the victims of political repression, honoring millions who suffered under state-sponsored persecution, exile, and execution during decades of totalitarian rule. It's a moment to pause and recognize the cost of silence, the danger of unchecked power, and the resilience of those who endured. Remembering them reminds us that freedom isn't automatic. It's a choice societies have to keep making. But October 30th also has room for brightness. Around the world, it's Speak Up for Service Day, celebrating young people who use their voices for good, from community projects to quiet acts of kindness. It's a reminder that even small acts of service ripple outward. It's also a National Publicist Day, recognizing the storytellers who help to shape how we see brands, artists, and movements. The people behind the scenes who make sure good ideas get heard. For the organizers among us, it's National Checklist Day, honoring one of humanity's simplest but most powerful inventions, the simple list. It's how pilots stay safe, surgeons like myself stay precise, and the rest of us keep Monday mornings from falling apart. Then there's Create a Great Funeral Day. It's interesting. This sounds morbid, but it really isn't. It's about thinking ahead, easing the burden on loved ones, and celebrating life while you still can. And of course, as Halloween's shadow looms, today is National Candy Corn Day. Love it or hate it, it's a symbol of nostalgia, fall colors, and pure sugary defiance. Finally, in many towns across the US and Europe, tonight is known as Mischief Night, a playful, sometimes chaotic, pre-Halloween tradition of pranks and mischief. Hopefully more silly string than police reports. So, October 30th isn't just a day on the calendar. It's a blend of remembrance, service, creativity, and a bit of sugar and chaos. A reminder that humanity holds space for both grief and laughter, often in the same breath. I'm Handel. Be curious, be kind, and top off that cup. Till next time.